Everyone, how you doing today? I trust that your day is rounding off well. It's another day on our show today, and my name is Vivian Muka Adebamowa, but I will always prefer you to call me MK. Sorry, we're a little bit behind schedule today, but again, we have a beautiful show coming up, and it's going to be beautiful because wherever you find youth, you find energy. So before we go on, before I bring on my guest who is already waiting, I would like to tell you that your support enables us to provide vocational training, counseling, and faith-based programs for genuine transformation. You can reach us on prisonfellowshipnigeria.org. That's our website. You can also reach us on info@pfnigeria.org. A lot of people send us messages to find out how they can be part of what we do. It's simple. Find out if you have a prison ministry in your church, an active prison ministry. There are two ways to be part of what we do. Either you have an active prison ministry in your church, you join Prison Fellowship Nigeria through that ministry that is an affiliate to Prison Fellowship Nigeria, or you come on board as a private member. So we have room for private members, people who are yet to be affiliates to Prison Fellowship Nigeria. So you can also reach us on X. Our address on X is at PF Nigeria, at PFNGRU official. So the P is an uppercase P, the F is a lowercase, the N is an uppercase N, then the GR official, the O on the official is an uppercase O. So like I already told you, today is going to be beautiful because it is packed with energy. In the whole of Nigeria, you have just two all-female correctional facilities. One is the Kirikiri Female Prison in Lagos State, and the other one is Numan Old Prison in Adamawa State. Many other correctional facilities in Nigeria house female inmates in separate wings, but these female prisons. So let me explain. So in the whole of Nigeria, we have just two facilities dedicated to female prison. So with this challenge, one will ask, how are the female inmates surviving? Because this is in the whole of Nigeria. So in 36 states of the country, including the Federal Capital Territory, we have just two female prisons, and the rest are just attached. They are just wings in either the medium or or any other prison. You just have a wing dedicated to the female inmates. So now we have our guests coming on who has a huge interest really in what is happening in the correctional center. And the most interesting part is that she's a youth and she has a large heart. Or her, she's on. I told you, energy. Hello. Good evening. So my guest tonight, yes, my guest tonight is Blessing Olaniyi. She is a youth wing member of Prison Fellowship Nigeria. She's a teacher of the Prisoner's Journey, that's TPJ. Prisoner's Journey is one of the fellowship. There's a kind of energy we need, and that is what our youth to what we do in Nigeria. You're welcome, Blessing.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's dive into this quickly.
Okay.
What's the backstory of your love for prison inmates? Tell me, how did you warm up to this ministry?
The backstory. I really say God is the backstory behind it because before I joined prison ministry, I don't think like I've ever been to the prison or jail or police station or even police station. I don't think I've ever been there. But I remember it was 2022. I just had from nowhere, I just had the thought that I was telling the evangelism team of my church that can't we go to prison, or I don't know how the word even came to my mind. And as I said it, immediately they were like, oh no, that I should go and tell. I just like left the idea, and that was it. Until 2023, I transferred to Lagos to the Lagos church, and I wanted to join ushering unit because I was in ushering unit at the other branch of Faith Tabernacle. That's Winners Chapel. I wanted to join ushering unit, and I just had that nudge not to join ushering unit, and I'm like, which unit do I want to join? That was how I was passing. I've been passing that entrance for years. I was never even aware that there was a prison ministry in the church I grew up. But that day, as I was passing, I just saw prison name, and I just heard that's where you should go, and I'm like, okay. That was how the journey started, and I think it was the first day I entered Kirikiri, I was like, oh, this is a city on its own. This actually exists here. Before then, I didn't have any idea. So I don't know. That's why I say it's the God factor for me, because the moment I had go there, and the love just came with obedience. Yeah.
Wow. And you just discovered that you have so much empathy
Yeah.
and love to give out.
Yes, sir.
Wow. I just said something, and I just informed people viewing us how to become part of prison fellowship. And one of the things I mentioned is to come through the prison ministry of their church. So you just heard Blessing. She came. Worshipper of Prison Fellowship Nigeria, and that's because Living Faith Church, aka Winners Chapel, is affiliated to Prison Fellowship Nigeria. Volunteer particularly to the juvenile homes and transit. What are they all about? Juvenile, someone will say, what's juvenile home? What's transit?
Yes, so okay. I'll start with the juvenile home because transit home is a bit different. The juvenile homes is also prisons, I would say, but for people for underage, let's say less than 18 years of age, either boys or girls, they have separate facilities in Lagos. We have about four juvenile homes, if I'm not mistaken, in Lagos. So, but the thing is, we now have their special correctional center, and then there's correctional center for boys and for girls, respectively. The special correctional center is I believe, is the one that it is just criminals or offenders. Sorry, they are not criminals. Let me use the word offenders. While the other one, we have people, not all these children that roam the streets, maybe they are hawking or maybe they are picking. Some children that sleep under the bridge. When the government picks them.
Homeless children.
Yes, homeless children. Thank you. When government picks them from there, they also put them in. So those category of people, they are allowed to go out. They go to school outside the facility and all that. While the offenders are restrained to the facility, they can't go out. So that's the difference between the two separate types of both for girls and for boys. It's the same way it goes. While then,
Okay. So
about the transit home now. The transit home was set up by Babatunde Raji Fashola for girls that were sexually abused, young mothers. I'll call them young mothers because they usually come there when they are pregnant most of the time, and they stay there till they have their baby until they are ready to leave. So that's transit home.
wow. You're doing a lot for a youth.
God
And
bless.
I would say, well done. So you see just one person, she visits like every other week, right?
Yes, almost every week.
She shows up. She shows up to serve humanity, whether be it in the transit home or the juvenile home or the female prison. The female, so there's the female and girls correctional centers,
Yes, ma'am.
that was called the female prison. So, but that seemed to be your interest because that's where you also train. Why? The females.
Yeah,
That seemed to be your interest.
yes, I think it seemed that way because I'm a woman, right? So it's easy to reach them. I'm not saying that I don't I've been to medium, maximum and those places, but it's just easier. I especially when I even the juvenile homes, if I'm being honest, I go to the female juvenile homes more. That's just because whenever I'm there, it's easy to reach them. It's really just.
Connect.
I feel like another aspect also is the mirror of possibility. You know,
Mm,
it's you are like I'm being a mirror of possibility to those young girls that it's possible.
mm.
So
That's
then
right.
I can connect with them on that level. That don't let them
Mm,
don't think that oh I'm a woman so I'm a girl child so I don't matter or I'm less I don't have equal opportunity or it's not possible. Just a mirror of possibilities to let them know that it's possible with God, with discipline, with the right when it's just achievable and doable. So I feel like there's that to being a mirror of possibility.
did you just hear that? Blessing, I'm borrowing a vocab from you today. Being a mirror of possibility to the girl child, bringing yourself forward. That means that puts you on your toes
Mm.
in terms of integrity, in terms of living a right life, in terms of being able to be that person in the society that someone can reckon with. So
Yes.
I'm sure you always carry that at the back of your mind that whatever you do as a citizen, you should be able to be a good mirror of possibility to these girls. So that takes you back every other week to see them. And I must say thank you. So this is even just beyond voluntary, being a volunteer in the ministry. It puts your life in shape. It puts you in that place where you know that you must live as an example every day of your life. Nobody should, no girl child should catch you anywhere misbehaving, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
tell me, you train at the female prisons, that's the TPJ. I want you to tell me particularly for the vocational training because Onesimus project is that which prepares them 6 months before release. So it's a pre-release empowerment program. I want you to tell me about what you do with the nails and the pedicure.
Yeah, so under the Onismos course, there's a part for skill empowerment because one of the way you can empower people is giving them skills. Aside, if you give them money, this or no time is going, they will spend you finish. But if you give them skills, you just give them the opportunity, something they can do. And
Hmm.
nails and pedicure is something that if you come outside, like I usually tell them in the prison, if you don't even want to focus on nails, let's say you just need urgent money, pedicure, you can get urgent money with pedicure. So that was what brought the idea. We go there, teach them the nails, the pedicure. But at the first edition, it was both nails and pedicure. But I noticed that why not just hammer on pedicure? Since pedicure takes a shorter time to learn, and it requires little capital to start up, at least just for something to just keep them because
Wow.
nobody talks much about people don't talk much about reintegration, how difficult it can be sometimes for them to at least and they don't as many of them because they've been there for a while, they will not want to be a burden again to start calling
Hmm.
hello, I okay, hello, I need so skills like that is something that without calling anybody, and they can just start even if it's I usually tell them you don't have to look for fancy people. Just even if it's 1K, 2K, just carry ball, do to just hold body. I usually tell them that don't wait until you are able to like get a fancy, beautiful swag. You will sleep there. At least to
Wow.
just hold body, carry ball.
For their urgent 2K
Yeah,
just to start up, you know. So this is like preparing them for re-entry back
yeah.
into the society. And I
Yes.
must say, all of this pep talk, do you say it to them like
Yes,
you
of course. And the beautiful thing also is we have different classes of people in the prison. Some of them I tell them if you don't, and there are also some I tell them that I'm not these skills I'm teaching you. You might never sit down to do it, but it's a business idea. You can pick up if you have extra cash and you want to put your money into a business. You the same way I'm teaching you, you teach the person. Even the person does not even have to be a professional. You can teach the person. That's also an extra source of income. So because we have these different classes of people, some people they are financially more buoyant, while others, so in different class, I just make sure I touch on different possibilities for different classes of people and just, let them know that it's possible.
I hear in the corridors around, like even the little birds that fly around the fellowship whispers to me that the youth wing is not doing much. Tell me, are there why is that a thing? Is it actually something that should be looked into? Are the youth in the youth wing not really doing much, or is there a challenge, a hidden challenge somewhere?
Mm. Okay, this is a this topic is a lot to unpack, but I'll just try to keep my answer as brief as possible. Saying the question, the youth wing is not doing much. There are two aspects to it. Is it that the youth wing is not doing much, or is it that the youth wing, like you are not saying what the youth wing is doing? There's that, and there's another aspect that are there factors that is making the youth like just
Responsible.
push back and just be like, let me just wait a bit. So there's that because I know of like personally, there are some things I do that is not under the umbrella of the prison fellowship or prison ministry. Voluntarily by myself. I've held pedicure training before at Idiaraba, and I don't think anybody knew about it. I just went there and I did what I had to do. So I've been.
You mean let's clarify this. You mean on your own, like you pay your way to this
Yes,
facility just to
yes,
help girls,
yes,
not being sponsored by your local assembly. So you
yes,
do it out of your pocket.
yes.
Okay,
Okay.
okay,
And
okay.
yes, and I also like I've had youths reach out to me, people reach out to me that oh they want to do this, they want to do this, and I just tell
So
them,
why are they not doing it? So
I
why
don't
are they not doing these things?
think I feel if I'm being sincere, some people, right, they might not be doing it under prison fellowship Nigeria because prison fellowship general, we have our veterans. I'll use the word
Yes,
veterans.
exactly. That's how
They
they older generation,
Yes, we have the like if I'm not exaggerating, more than 70% of the number in
the
prison fellowship,
population.
they are of the older generation, right? So I think there's that thing too where the older generation also have to, pull the younger generation and let us work together. Some of the
Okay.
some people in the younger generation might just if they go and they might not like the way things are working, and instead of them to talk about it, just say, well, let me do it my way, but then if we continue like that, what's it called, people that will take over from the older generation will not be. If you look at the story of Moses, for instance, if you look at even while Moses was still alive, you would see Joshua is always there. If you read in between the lines your Bible, even when Moses went to the mountain for the 40 days to get it, he was there. Joshua was actually there. Although also I just really want to say that if our older generation can try to reach out and carry the younger generation along, the
So
youth.
let me help you to make this brief. So
Yes.
is it that the older generation is not is not delegating responsibility enough to
Okay.
the youth wing, or the youth wing being is not respecting the older generation enough, because they say it's the child that open his hands
And
that they will carry.
that's true
So
too.
is the child opening his hands, or is or the older generation does not want to carry the child that is opening his hands? What is happening?
I think it's a bit of both. As I said, we are being honest. Actually, I think because if you call for outreach, especially to the prison, if you look at the numbers, most people that are there, they are old people. You know, and some young people they're like, "Oh, I want to make money. I'm making money. Tell me not about it
So
like
where
that."
are the young in your own prison ministry? There's the youth arm
Yes.
of your own people. So why don't they go to facilities so that the older people will see them like
So
you
for
do?
in my local assembly, in the youth what we do is we schedule if we the juvenile homes, for instance, some of them they go to school during the week. So our administrations the juvenile homes is not during the week. It's usually weekend on Saturday, and
Okay,
Idiaraba is on Sunday. That is where you see most of the youths because it doesn't
okay.
fall on the day of their
And they work
during,
with the older generation, isn't it?
yes they do, yes they do.
And there's no schism, there's no like, why are you coming into my space? Do you feel the older generation is not releasing? Do you feel that they are not releasing the space enough for youth expression?
Sometimes it might seem that way if I'm being honest, but in my local assembly, it's not that obvious because our population is almost balanced. You know, we have
Okay,
old, have young,
okay,
but some other assemblies under prison ministry, most all of them they will not even see one youth. Some of them don't even have one. So
okay.
because
So
of
let me assist you by saying, please, we want to plead with our older generation to 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 engage us. We are ready to serve. We are humble. We are obedient. Blessing goes out of our ways most times. Just personally, not trying to choke the boss space or any space at all. On her own, no, on a quiet day, it still goes out to do her voluntary service to some of these homes. Please, we plead that our older generation will give us more responsibility, because we are ready and we are willing to grow and
I
to learn.
Yes, ma'am. I would also like to plead on behalf of. I would also like to plead to the younger generation, since you did it to the older generation. I would also really like to say to the younger generation that we should also try to get involved in the assignments. We should try to get involved in the assignments. God has called you to prison ministry, not to be a bench warmer. You know, in my local assembly, that's one of the things my chairman, the chairman of our local in our prison fellowship, Faith About Prison Ministry, always say. You did not come to prison ministry to be a bench warmer. Why are you in prison ministry and you've never been to prison before? You don't know what it looks like. Why are you here? You're not supposed to be here. If you want to work like it always hammers it a lot. And so we are not just so that we can say, oh, I'm in prison ministry. No, it's for the field. The work is in the field. The people that we are supposed to minister to are at the field. So if you do not go to the field, you are not doing anything. It shouldn't be. Sometimes, we also have to be humble. In that we serve has to be humble. We will leave
Mm.
our station and our degrees, leave it by the side and just come with an open and humble heart to serve. And the work will move. Lives will be
And I'm,
impacted.
and
That's the
I'm,
most
I'm
important.
telling you, I'm telling you more than you even know, that the older generation really looks forward to handing over, or so to say. They really look forward to people that will take over this. They've done this for a long time. They've done, and this is the only time we have to
Yeah.
glean, to get, to collect, to be present, just as Joshua used. And you are one person who has always been present around the older generation. And that is why you can move this fast, because you have learned a lot and you're moving with youthful speed. And that is what we desire. That Blessing has pleaded with two people here today, and then we know that by the time you start watching this replay of today's live show, you will wake up and don't be afraid to follow those older generation and be humble and learn.
Yes,
And
very.
we've already begged our older generation to please carry us along, to please open up this space, to embrace us, to bring us in, because it's high time we assist them in what they are doing so that they don't exert too much of energy. Okay, I have seen you. I've seen videos of you on status and all and on social media rendering voluntary service to orphanages. What's in there for you?
Okay, I think that's another thing from the prison ministry. Personally, for me, from the prison ministry, purpose was birth for me.
Wow.
Yes. In Idiaraba, actually, in Idiaraba, there's an orphanage home in Idiaraba facility. It's a 3-in-1 facility. I don't know if it's from there. I don't know, but I just know that one day, somehow, I just had that, I just had that knowledge. I just had this thought. There are people that actually want to be of, they have the resources to be a blessing to orphanage home, widows home, prisoners, and a lot of all these things. But just the thought of, ah, let's start looking. How will I locate the place? How will I do this? How will I do that? They'll just say, well, they'll just keep the money and they won't do it. So I just thought about it that I can be a bridge between these people. And I had an outreach. Someone reached out to me sometime, like some weeks ago, to help look for orphanage home. I went to 2 different places, made videos, sent to him, got all the information. And on the day of the outreach, I was so surprised at the things that they brought. I was just thinking maybe it's just some paint of gari and some paint of rice. When I was seeing bags of rice, cartons of this, cartons of that, even the woman, the founder of the orphanage, she was just telling me, thank you. I said, why are you thanking me? I'm not like, so that's, a lot of people want to be a blessing, but the thought, those people now, they didn't have the time to be checking for which orphanage to go to. I have the time. That's why I'm
So,
here.
can you imagine? So you found purpose. So
Yes.
people are looking for purpose everywhere, like children of God. Oh, this purpose that they are talking about. How do I find? So in your
So,
serving humanity,
yeah.
you've launched into, now you know what you've been called to do. Like you
Yes.
can say it with so much confidence. Some
Yes.
people find purpose at 60 years, 50. Some never even find. But this is you confidently saying, yes, I'm sure that this is what God has called me to do. And that is why we cannot but overshout inviting people to be part of what we do in prison fellowship. There you have it today, our very vibrant, active youth. She's not a bench warmer. She does not just sit. And I must even say, she serves even at the secretariat of her church, her local assembly. And she does her personal work. You will not believe this. Most times people try to create this notion that there's no time, I don't have time for this, I don't have time. She still has her own work, like the work that helps her make the money to be a volunteer and to support him. And she still has her own job. Please, wherever you are today, you don't have any excuse for not to find purpose, especially as a child of God. You don't say, okay, let me make the money first. At 50, I'll start giving back. No.
Oh.
This is somebody that is doing everything at once. Giving back, working, growing, spiritually, physically, socially, helping people every single day. I must say thank you at this point. I don't want to take too much of your time.
Yes, ma'am.
We will do this again.
No problem, ma'am.
Agreed?
We've
We
not
will do this again.
even. Yes, I've not
Yes,
started.
now.
We have not
Yes,
started saying.
exactly.
I've
I
not
want to say, thank you so much,
started.
for agreeing to come up. And you've heard it, the blessing found purpose today. She's working in her God called purpose. She is so sure, and you can find yours by just doing some other person's job, by just helping, by just being nice. You can find purpose. Why not come out of your shell? Don't be too closed up. Don't say these elders, I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Please, oh, they are too laid back for me. Their speed is no. Blessing is able to navigate and still find her own place. And I know that every youth out there that desires to serve in one capacity or the other or be a blessing can come into Prison Fellowship Nigeria and find purpose. Thank you so much, Blessing. Thank you for coming on the show today. And I pray for more strength for you. And just as you have mentioned, your life will continually be an example to emulate, to follow, and not a mistake to avoid, in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Thank you so much. Till we come your way again next week. Well, it's bye-bye for today, and we are wrapping up. Please stay tuned and share, like our page, share this. The recording is going to be seen on our pages. Please share, like, and invite people to be part of what we are doing also in Prison Fellowship Nigeria. My name is Vivian Muka Adebamowo. Bye-bye for now.
Bye,
Bye, Blessing.
bye, ma.